Alright guys, so the top 5 most unique monsters, or monsters that make you think, wait, I was a monster? To claim I'm not making this list, only movies or only TV shows or only video games or only comics, because I don't feel like there would be enough of a difference. Pretty much, you could do the comics, but not everybody's read the comics. You could do the video games, but not everybody's played the video games. TV shows are more than likely what everybody has watched, and movies, everybody's seen the movies, so I doubt there would be many monsters from that would be wholly like uniqueness, yes, but make you think that was a monster, no. And evident because my friend asked me, he goes, well, what about the Griffin from Scooby-Doo? Technically, that is a mechanical monster. It isn't like the pure thing. We've also had the Manticore from Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. We've had the giant metallic clown from Scooby-Doo, or What's New Scooby-Doo. Like, we've had multiple mechanical monsters. The Griffin is just another version of that, so that is a kind of stopper to be like, no. If it is mechanical, if it is mechanically made, then that is what it is. And that's pretty much what it was. I mean, it was a mix of mechanical at the giant tower that Scooby, Shaggy, and Velma's younger sister, I forget her name right now, they had to fight against the Griffin for a little bit, so technically no. And then it's also, I think, a hot air balloon too, so it's just like a mixture of the Willow Wall meeting the metallic metal clown, so it's not unique enough to me. Uniqueness has to be almost a one for one, where they have literally not made it. It could be represented in the other categories, which would be movies. You know, it could be a movie monster, but then be in the TV show or the comics or the games, the game monster that we see later on in a TV show or a comic or a movie, that counts. That counts as it being unique enough where it's just like, oh, it is nearly a one for one. And the reason I'm saying this, and this might make it a little confusing, is actually the first villain, and I'm putting him as the Phantom Virus because from Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase, because he's the most well-known animated movie villain of Scooby-Doo. I have not met a single person who has known Scooby-Doo and does not know the Phantom Virus, because more often than not, that is one of the first ones a lot of people have seen. He is still one of the most unique monsters there is. Actually, looking at a Scoobypedia page, he could be a one for one, so he is completely uncopied monster other than his video game counterparts where they change his colors a little bit. I am considering that still himself, so he is unique. The only closest monster I can think of to him is the Technomancer. The reason why is because his ability is more than its physical appearance, other than the numbers running down its cloak-like code. That is literally it. Now, number 2 is another movie monster. These first 2 were the movie monsters, but it's the Wiki Tiki from Aloha Scooby-Doo. And I said that most movie monsters everybody would pretty much remember. The reason I'm putting this on here is because this literally, for me, was wait, that was a monster? Because when I was talking to my friends about this, one of them, he said his favorite monster was the Wiki Tiki from Aloha Scooby-Doo. It was his second favorite monster. And we were playing a video game at the time, and I literally had to pause my brain, pause what I was doing in the game, and actually take a second and be like, wait, what was that monster again? And honestly, it does suck that I keep forgetting about him, because he is really cool. I actually really like him. I prefer him more than the Wiki Tiki witch doctors that we get to see in the earlier series. Yeah, I guess that's a word. And I don't really think about him too much, which sucks. It's weird because I remember the other witch doctors and the voodoo doctors and the dog nappers. I remember those guys, but I can't remember the buff Wiki Tiki that spews lava balls. Like, that is crazy. And I actually have a fond memory of this. I watched this at my therapist appointment, the first time I've ever seen it. I watched this at my therapist appointment because I used to have a total shyness as a kid, to the point where I had to learn sign language to figure out what I wanted to say, because I couldn't say anything. I didn't want to say anything to anybody. So my mom got really worried and I had to go to therapy for that. And honestly, that's how I found Scooby-Doo Aloha, which I actually really liked. I think it just came out on VHS too, which was even crazier. Yeah, so that's why, hey, I really wanted to put Aloha Wiki Tiki on here, and I know it's going to be a little different, but I also wanted to say, getting back to it with the side note, that I'm seriously getting into Terraria with my buddy. We are almost done with our first gameplay. And if you ever want to stream that with me and my friend, and friends, if anybody else wants to join us, who's teaching me how to play the game, then let me know. He mentioned that he would like to make content over it. He's big into it, and literally I'm a chicken, so I'm a ranger right now, just running around having fun. He is a summoner, and every boss wants to fight him, and I like that because I don't want to fight them. I want to build. Like right now in my main world, the first world that we've done together, I am pretty much making like I've made a cool treehouse, and I'll throw up a picture because I have one, and I know I'm getting off on a side tangent from the video, but I'll throw up a picture of my base that I've made, and I have made a couple more additions to it. But then down below in the caves, we are building like huge vaults for each. Like, so I guess there's a warrior, a ranger, a mage, and a summoner class, and then we're also doing like shrines to each of the bosses of the game. And I just think that's really, really fun and really, really cool. I'm really excited. So yeah, if you guys want to see me play that, I would love to play that with everybody. Like I said, the first two were the movie monsters, and they're still very iconic and unique compared to a lot of the TV show monsters. The next two are a bit more horror focused, I want to say, on the Scooby-Doo villains roster. And the first one is Dr. Coffin. Now, how do I describe Dr. Coffin? As someone who's never seen Scooby-Doo, but for some weird reason clicked on this video. Simply put, have you ever wandered into a haunted insane asylum and messed with the tools in the surgery room and heard a crash and then jumped out the second story window to run away while not checking behind you because you're too scared? Yeah, neither have I yet. Quote unquote yet, hopefully. But he is what your typical thought of a bloody ghost of a insane asylum, and looking at a Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed version, I feel very, very uncomfortable. Like, his animation, perfect. I love it. It looks creepy. It has that glow effect. It looks really cool. For some reason, I don't remember if he has a nose or not, and I just did a lot of research, but I can't tell. But nah, whoever was on the Scooby-Doo 2 prop department and like decided to add blood and make his head look like an alien, because I swear that head looks like an alien head. I'm like, were you on LSD or something? Because you had to have been. There is no doubt about that. Because what makes you look at the original concept and then decide on that? That is crazy to me, but you know what? I love it. They could have just not put him in the thing, but after hearing the behind the scenes where like a spooky voice was going throughout the whole museum showing some of Scooby-Doo's most famous monsters, and you know, the voiceover was like, oh, this one's super creepy. I mean creepy. I mean crawly. I mean creepy. Like, he was going crazy about it. It's just like, I really like that. And I need to go back and watch that video again because I love that little video. The next one is the Shadow Creature. He is a very unique monster, at least to me. This monster I actually think about a lot because it just randomly pops in my head when we first saw him. So he isn't a forgotten monster to me, but he is a unique one, which I've only seen his episode one time, but I definitely will be buying it on Fandango so I can watch it at least 3 more times before I get bored and wait to watch it again in a few months. Because that's pretty much what I do. I binge watch like every single Scooby-Doo, wait a couple months, and then I'm like, you know what, I'll watch it all again, because in between that time I'm catching back up on YouTube, the Vanoss crew, and everything else I like to watch. Also Gaming Beaver, because I'm a big dinosaur nerd, and Warhammer 40k, of course, because yeah. Number 5, this is the Ghostly Gondolier. This entry is because he is close to being a forgotten monster. Think about it. If you were to put him up next to Skeletor's face and Grim from Billy and Mandy, who I absolutely love, he is just a guy, really, with a hood over his face. There isn't much detail on him. I think the whole reason he was a ghostly gondolier was because he had an inflatable raft. That's what they call him, you know, the ghostly thing. Which, don't get me wrong, is cool, but the dude is still a very forgotten monster, which, looking at his face more closely, he does resemble the Cyber Chase face. Like, if you look at it, and I've shown a couple people, they have the same, like, not in this, I guess the line is, no. I mean, they have both yellow eyes. Grin is really good. Ah, man, I can't think. It's like their jawline is so the chiseled jawline. That's what it was. Wow, it took me a second to think about that, but it looks very, very similar. So I'm wondering, and this isn't confirmed in any of the trivia, I'm wondering if somebody who was drawing the Scooby-Doo Phantom Virus Cyber Chase monster, if they looked over at some of the most popular monsters of Scooby-Doo, or they just looked throughout the whole roster of Scooby-Doo, and they kind of chose the same comparison of the eyes and the face, because they could have done done something completely different, but they didn't, which to me is kind of unique. And then honorable mention, the Diabolical Disc Phantom. He is unique in his own right, but I can't remember another monster quite like him. I know you probably say like, you know, Scooby-Doo meets Kiss and the Crimson Witch, but honestly, the Disc Phantom, which is weird, or because it's, I'm sorry, I've redone this. It's not the Diabolical Disc Phantom, it's the Diabolical Disc Demon. For some weird reason, they call him a phantom in the episode. So in my head, it's just like, is it a phantom? Is it a demon? I don't know. It annoys me because why would you name it a demon if it's not a demon? I mean, it's a play on words, but still. But I know he's a parody of Gene Simmons, the Kiss Demon, but I doubt they would try to copy another monster like him. So in my eyes, he's unique, but not nearly as much as the others. And yeah, I actually went back and watched this episode the other day on break at work because I was curious about his episode again. It's one of those you can probably put in the background and, you know, listen to, but not pay attention to that much. And also, let me know what you guys' favorite monsters is and what you guys would consider a unique monster. I love hearing from you guys all the time, and I do read my comments. I do try to message everybody about him, and I like him and give him a heart because I want everybody to know that they're special here at my channel. We're growing bigger and bigger every day, and I absolutely love it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Peace.